Hey everybody, this is FireGod522 with my 15th tutorial, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to use applyAngForce using expression 2 so that you can have one of those many props you see flying around people and rotating where they look and whatnot. To have them flying around is another tutorial. That's going to be the next one probably. I'm not promising anything that it's going to be tutorial 16th, but I'm saying it might be if you're lucky. Okay, let's start off and get our expression 2 out. Now, we need to start off with a prop for the model. So instead of having like this, we're going to need a prop. So find our general construction props where it says plate 1, right click on it, copy to clipboard. Okay, then go into your console. Yeah, I screwed up on the tutorial before this. And then type in wire expression 2 model, and then paste the model path. Alright, and then our model is this. By the way, if anybody's wondering, I've done this tutorial like 7 times already, and I'm getting a little ticked off, so if I start yelling or speeding through things, that's why. Okay, so once we have our prop already down, or we can spawn a prop, we go ahead and place it down. There's nothing in it. Okay, open up our expression 2 editor. Yes, I know, a bunch of expressions, get over it. Okay, we're just going to delete all this stuff we don't need, which is trigger, persist, and inputs. We don't really need name, but I'm going to put that down anyways. Tutorial expression. Outputs. We're going to worry about that later. Okay, now for our first thing that we're going to put in is going to be something to update the expression 2 real fast. So we're going to do run on tick 1. Let me put this in full screen for you guys. Okay, now we're going to go down, and now we need to specify an entity that we want the applyAngForce to go. So we're going to do plate equals entity. And so basically it's saying that the plate is an entity. So it's the entity of plate is actually the expression 2, not actually a model. If we wanted to have it a model, we'd do like plate equals entity is welded to. So basically whatever this is welded to is what it's going to be but we don't really want that right now. Okay, I'm going to speed through this a little bit because it's a little hard to explain. I'll explain it later. We're going to specify an owner, so O equals owner. Sorry. Okay, now it's saying I'm the owner of the expression, so that's a variable. Okay. Now we're going to do something to get an angles out of, so we're going to do ang equals angle. And I'm just going to do 0 first. Times 1000. Okay, now that we have our ang, we need to set up an output for it, so it's going to be angle. Okay, we're going to update it, and now I can debug this for you guys to show you. Okay, now we're going to do, now this is just saying that like, our ang is going to be 0 all the time. If we wanted to do like 1, and since it's multiplied by 1000, now it doesn't really do anything, mainly because we haven't told it to do anything, like apply force. So let's go ahead and do that. So we're going to do plate applyAngForce ang. Okay. And you can see it starts tilting, so I'm going to go ahead and take off physical properties so I can show you guys this. Now you see it tries to, it's always going to be stabilizing like this, it's always going to be flipping because we haven't gotten any values. We just said that angular is always going to equal this one thing, so it's just going to keep on flipping. That's just a setup. So we're going to go ahead and do something to make it to where it points at where we're aiming. So I'm going to take all of this out. We're going to do, let me think, P, Y, and R. So now we're going to specify that it's going to look at where we are looking. or I'm going to set it up to where it gets the pitch yaw and roll of where we're looking at so that it can rotate to it. Okay, so plate, elevation, oh, whoops. Since pitch, oh, my bad, completely forgot about it. P equals plate elevation. Now, this is basically, since pitch is going to be our up and down, that makes sense for elevation. We're going to do O, aim position. Now, basically, it's saying that pitch, or P, is going to equal the plate's elevation according to my aim position. So it's getting, how should I explain this? It's basically, if the plate has like a beacon sensor on it, where my position is, it's going to be relevant to its elevation. If you don't understand that, I'm sorry. Okay, now we're going to do Y for yaw. Y equals plate bearing. Since bearings are left and right, if you guys remember my tracker tutorial, it uses bearing, I think. I don't remember if I did that. Yeah, it was using bearing. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and use O, aim, pose. Now it's going to get the relevant bearing to where I'm looking at, and that's going to be our yaw. Okay, now we're going to do R equals plate, angles, roll. Since we don't need our roll of our view to rotate, we don't need to have it for roll, as far as I'm concerned, since it doesn't change unless you're using a camera. Okay, now you can see once we update the expression, it starts spazzing out like this. There's a perfectly good reason for this, mainly because it's trying to look the opposite direction of what I gave it. So if we go ahead and do negative ang, and of course it's still spazzing out. Now there's one more thing we can do, and this is basically what the main equation to make it stabilize the best. We're going to do, right here where it says ang, we're going to continue this. We're going to do ang plus delta ang times 5. Now, what this is saying, if you guys remember my first tutorial and like my 13th tutorial remake, and then I started the new series or whatever, this is basically the new, the same thing as my stabilizing plate tutorial. Back then when I had like no viewers. Okay, so now that we have this, I might as well show you. It's a little hard to explain how this works, but basically it's going to get the angles plus a difference in the angles every time it updates times 5. So it's just going to multiply it. Here, I'll show you. It's a little, like I said, hard to explain, but it works. And I believe it was Tricky who first used this. I kind of got it from him. So you can see it looks where I look. If I look up. If I aim at the plate, of course, it's going to try to look at itself, so it's going to spaz around. Okay. It's pretty sweet if you ask me. This is why it kind of took me so long, because I've made this tutorial like 7 freaking times today. And, getting frustrated. Anyways, at least I finally got it working. The first one I uploaded onto YouTube, audio was off, like I said. So I had to remake it, and then my brother screwed it up because he came in and I go, hi, whatever. Anyways, tutorial 16 probably going to be applyAngForce. I'm not promising anything. Have fun, or actually this has been Firegod 522 with my 15th tutorial teaching you how to use applyAngForce. Have fun, don't burn yourself.